Welcome back, bowling fans. This week in the Draft League, in the house that Rab built, Highland Boulevard, Staten Island. It's another exciting week, week 21. Hello, Joe. How you doing, bro? How's it going? And real quick, I saw my good buddy Christian Ruiz outside the pro shop, and he said, hey, you know, he looked like he was tied up, and he said, do me a favor, Joe, grab my bowling bag. So I turned around, and I thought I needed a forklift for this thing. In fact, I have a picture of it. I took a quick picture, and it's going to be on right now. So as you could see, this kid's prepared for any condition tonight. Anything. The 10-ball roller. We have a special. It's John Benitez walking by, baby. Juan Benitez. We have a couple of special guests tonight. One of them is my teammate who is going to get MVP votes in this third of the Draft League. He really is. And, you know, my mom always told me, and my wife told me, Joe, you don't know how to take a compliment. And guess what? I can't. I don't know what it is. It's one of those things. Maybe there's an ism for it. But I just can't take a compliment. Here's the reason. I'm not a good bowler. I'm average at best. I'm not a good golfer either. I'm average at best. That's the truth. That's the truth. And guess what? As a husband, average. Ken. You could even ask my wife. Sometimes they'll do a few good things, but all in all, basically, I'm average to slightly above average as a husband. However, I'm good at something. And I got to pat myself on the back. I can draft. I'm just telling you that right now. And it all started in fantasy baseball. I can get the most out of a player, value-wise. I look at statistics, and for the lowest value, I will come out with the best production per dollar. And that's basically what I did in this draft. And I have a history to show it. The analytics that I use is possibly this high. You're laughing. No, I'm not saying that. Most people look at average. I'll let you know some secrets. Most people look at average. Guess what? Irrelevant to me. Doesn't matter. However, Mike Marchese Sr., his pocket percentage is 82%. 82% pocket percentage. His spare percentage, one pin, 93%. Mike Marchese Sr.'s split percentage per night, 2%. So let's roll it all up. Let's roll it up, John. Mike Marchese Sr., I had the 18th pick, okay? You're not sitting pretty at 18, but guess what? Doesn't bother me. I'll sit pretty at 18. You understand? So Mike Marchese, all piled up, hits the pocket almost 9 times a game, okay? And if you hit the pocket, you're most likely 9 or strike. Then he's sparing 92% of the time. And he splits one night a week. Guess what? You pile that up. John Heitmann, everybody. You pile that up, you're on the list. Okay? Secondary. That was my technical analysis. Then I have macro analysis. And here it goes. Do you show up? Are you on time? Do you pay in the envelope? Do you want to win? Follow me? Absolutely. Do you stay on the set? Are you a wanderer? I don't draft wanderers. You drink. That's okay. But if you're a wanderer, you're better off wasted than wandering with me. Are you following? These are the criteria that I go by when I draft. And guess what? Mike Marchese Sr. does them all. And that's male or female. Doesn't have to be male. He's on time. He's there to win. He never misses. What else did I say? Doesn't wander. He's right. And guess what? He's not a analyst every shot. Well, you got slow. You missed it by a half a board. You missed it at the bottom. You came over the top. None of that. None of it. Mike Marchese. I got a couple introductions for you. Matt Kay is not here. The Jericho Giant is not here. But we're not going to miss him because I have another clip. The The Matt Cop Challenge is coming, folks. Darren Tang on the PBA pulled the Matt Koplowitz. And I'm putting that video in right now.
Trap money 70 or 180, but he's gonna win. Got me in my feelings. Gotta be real with it.
Oh, Machuga can bowl 223 max.
Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. Cause I want you and I need you.
Oh, Machuga can bowl 223 max.
Do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. Cause I want you and I need you. And I'm down for you.
Oh, Machuga can bowl 223
But the
max.
new me is really still the real me. I swear you gotta feel me before.
You guys like that, right? You like when the video goes in there. Matt Cop, even the pros are doing it, bro. Second introduction on the only camera tonight. When this man walks in the bowling alley, girls chase him. He's that good looking. He's the best looking bowler, John, I ever bowl with. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gorgeous, Kenny Soto. Last introduction. Last intro is the man that makes this happen. Brooklyn's own, Staten Island's own. Just look at the crowd, folks. Walking on by. Joe Caladrillo, also known as Joe Cal.
The young fans are here. Thanks for the intro, Joe B. As always, tough act to follow, I got to say. Everything he said about Mike is spot on, 1,000%. I'm not going to mention the fact that even though Mike is a very good friend of mine, when it was my turn to pick, I passed on him. But he knows it's not. He doesn't take it personal. I never had a chance to bowl with Scott Porto, so I finally have. And maybe next time Mike and I will hook up. Whatever. One of these years it's bound to happen. But Mike's an old Brooklyn buddy. He's also a Regina Pacis guy. We both graduated from Regina Pacis. I got a couple of years on him, though. But so, on that note, I want to say that, Joe, to prepare myself for today's show, because we're going back to some of the old-time, not old-timers, but the veteran guys, okay? I watched on YouTube today, on my lunch hour, closed my office door, chose not to go out, and watched the 1984 Long Island Open, PBA, the Pro Bowlers Tour, the top 5. You ready for this? We're going back. Art Trask, Jim Stefanich, Don Janello, Ernie Schlegel, the whack job, and Mike Durbin, the Hall of Famer. Good show. The winner of that tournament was Ernie Schlegel. And here was the quote of the day. Nelson Burton Jr., 35 years ago, told Chris Schenkel, Chris, these guys are now using urethane balls. They hook a lot. Urethane balls hook a lot. 35 years ago, 1984, April, the Long Island Open. Now the urethane balls, pin straight. Okay, anyway, we're going to bring our guests in. Mike Marchese Sr., John Heitmann. Come on in, guys. Here's our guests. We're back old school, brother. Mike, you come on my left. John on my right, okay? Going to go back and forth with the questions. Going to start with my buddy Mike. Mike is also better known as Enzo the Baker from The Godfather. He's the official baker of the Draft League. Marco's the pizza maker. Mike is the baker. So, Mike, who was it that got you into this game? And give me your first childhood bowling memory.
First childhood was when we bowled at Regina Pacis.
Regina Pacis. See, I kind of plugged that before.
8 bowling alleys. Everything was there with the poles there. Everything is in your way. Yeah. Shot my first 200.
There you go.
And then it was all over school and all that. Yeah. And then being drafted into the Severian.
Right.
You know, at that time, things were much different in the high schools. You know, they came around, they looked around, they see what they were doing.
That's right.
And that was the biggest thing.
That's right. Yeah. I bowled for Bishop Ford. I only attended Bishop Ford for 2 years. Then I'm not going to get into reasons why I left to go to New Utrecht. But I didn't do too good in a couple of classes, and the old man was like, you're out, time to go to public school. So anyway, I did bowl for one of my high school teams. John, who was it that got you into the game? And give me your first childhood bowling memory.
Both my parents bowled league when I was a little kid. Okay. And my parents took me bowling when I was about 5 years old.
Where was that?
Comac Bowl.
Oh, wow, okay. All right, wow, on the island.
Out on the island,
okay.
Yep.
All right.
And then, you know, not too much after that. And when I became a teenager, I started bowling again. Okay. And by then I was living in Glendale.
Right.
and I was also a pinboy.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. A pinboy. He's giving his age away. Wow. Wow. A pinboy. Nice. Yeah. I like it. I like it. So, Mike, you had the pleasure of bowling in a couple of professional tournaments at Carolina Lanes, the U.S. Open, right? What do you think about bowling against guys like Walter Ray and Mika and coming and bowling with all of our buddies here?
Total difference. Oh, yeah. It's incredible. Just their stamina alone. Right. I mean, I finished out of 540. I finished 250 the first year. Right. And it was tough. Yeah. That is the ultimate grind. Right. But coming here with you guys, I wouldn't take this for nothing. Right. Away for nothing. I really wouldn't. This is all good fun. All good. All good people. All good people and everything. But you know what? It's a different feeling when you're bowling against the pros. It really is. Of course it is. But over here, it's like home. Yeah, it is. It's like being at home. It's home. This is our home, away from home. The Hound Dog has arrived. For all those who didn't see, Tony Everett, that's our AKA John Travolta, Saturday Night Fever. The Hound Dog has arrived. So, John, what was it about our league that made you finally, after all these years of being a sub, you finally decided to come bowl in the league? What is it that attracts you to this league?
Competition. Yeah. And they moved it to a good night.
We moved it to Monday, and you forgot to say, but you also forgot to say, so you can come in the over 50 pot.
Yep. That too.
There you go. There you go. So, Mike, we got 3 over 50 pot guys right here, folks. And Tony in the back is another one. And Hollywood. I love you too, Hollywood. So, Mike, tell us a little bit about your baking career. Are you still doing the baking?
I work for a shop right out on Veterans Road. Right. I'm their bakery manager. Yep. My dad had a bakery many years ago on Holland Boulevard. Right. Been baking since I'm 13. Yep. And it's in your blood. There's nothing you can take away from it. I got to tell you, folks, Mike makes the best St. Joseph pastries. He makes the chocolate-covered pretzels. The guy is Enzo the Baker. I stay and help you. For you, Father. For you, Father. I stay and I help you. So, John, what's your plan of attack as your team is moving up the ranks? You're bowling the first-place team tonight, right? Okay, so what's your plan of attack about how you're going to try to, kind of shorten that lead a little bit without being physical, without beating up anybody? How are you going to try to attack it tonight?
Have no clue.
But you're going to try your best.
We're going to try our best.
I got to tell you, the girls are taking us guys to the woodshed. To the woodshed. The girls are taking our numbers, taking no prisoners. Joe B., I leave the boys in good hands here. Michael, thanks as always, brother. John, thanks, my friend. Giuseppe?
Thank you, Joe. Yes, week 21, right? So we got 21, 22, 4 to go. So this is kind of like a 7-furlong race, our league. It's not really a mile and a half. It's quick. It's a speed. It's a speed race. No, that's the second trip. That's the second trip. No, I brought the first ones in already. Yeah. So getting back, we're at the top of the stretch right now, and Team Bruno, Mike and I are bowling together. We are in a good spot. We are on the rail behind the leader. So we're in 4th, but I like I think we're bowling Kenny tonight, 3rd. In fact, we're bowling each other tonight. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. I'm buying you 3 shots as soon as we get out there. I want you wasted so you don't know what hour you're playing. Okay? But getting back to my analysis of Mike, I didn't finish. Not only did I steal him at 18 with my analytics, I had the 3rd round pick, I'd like the 4th pick, and the analytics struck again. And I took Gary Ricci for this reason. He agreed with the Robinson-Cano trade. Whoever agreed with that trade was going to be my 3rd bowler. I needed somebody to back me up. Me, Mike, and Gary. So, boys, the bowling community wants to know certain things. And the first question that popped up was, do you remember the milkman, and did you have one? John.
Remember the milkman, but no.
You never had the milkman outside on the porch. Michael?
Nope.
Okay, I did. Anthony? Yes. Yeah. Joe? Yes. The glass bottles? Yes. Okay. The second one. Ken. Come on. You had to import that stuff. Let's check. Do you guys remember the speeds on the record player? John?
There was 3 of them, 33 and a 3rd. There was 45 and 78.
Excellent. Were you about to say that? Very good. For those at home, you don't even know what a record player is. And you would switch to speeds to make it go fast and slow. You remember? You would. That was all fun. Switching that lever, right?
Not only that, you needed a little plastic.
That's right. You had to put it on top. You're right. You're right. So, Michael, cake or pie?
Cake.
John?
Cake.
2 cakes. Okay. That's a good one. I'm going to ask you right now. Who was the last person to text you? Do you remember? It could have been 5 minutes ago.
My wife.
Nice. 2 wives. Me too. 3 wives. Anyone else? Make sure you say your wife. All right. Good answer. John, do you remember your first job?
Yep.
What is it?
I was newspaper boy for the Long Island Press.
Very nice, John. Michael.
I worked for my father when I was 10.
Which was?
Bakery.
Oh, wow. See, this guy's been baking a long time. And people always want to know this, and I forget to ask. Music taste. Favorite band or artist, John? You can give me 1 or 2 or 3.
I got a couple of different things I like, but it would be The Who, Guns N' Roses, and Iron Maiden.
It's beautiful stuff right there. Wow. I didn't know you were a Maiden guy. All right. Maroon 5. Anything else?
No, Maroon 5 mainly.
All right. So, no, he's staying hip. He's trying to stay hip. You know, I like that. No. Come on, I saw Billy 10 times. I love Billy Joel. But great stuff. And I'm glad you guys finally got on the show. And what's going on here? Oh, all right.
Here's our sub tonight.
Who's coming on in? Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Orlando, Mike Halo. Mike, I had 2 good questions, Mike. Did you ever have a milkman with the milk with the glass on the front porch?
Yes, absolutely.
See, so do I. Mike did too.
My parents moved in 1962 before the bridge came. Yes, and I remember we had a white milk box in front.
He said he grew up in Puerto Rico. There was no milk there. There's nothing there.
Just fast forward, get a picture of his shirt. There's going to be a little circle right in that little thing. Third nipple right before it happens. There's 2 things you can count on. Him leaving an 810 and the little circle, the little sweat circle there. There will be, my prediction is there will be 4 pictures of 810s on 810 Rabs tonight.
Oh, very nice.
I know that they never happen. It's crazy, but when I'm here, we get 4 new ones every week. Naz told me, oh, it hasn't happened all year. Then she threw an elbow shot.
Speaking of 810s, Sean Lavery Spear or Anthony Lavery Spear made the 810. Sean made the 810 on TV, which is pretty tough. All right, great stuff. Mike Orlando popping in. Lowe's Bowler of the Week, folks. Lowe's Bowler of the Week. This gift certificate goes to the lowest bowler from last week. 72 bowlers in our great league. This guy came in 72nd. Hold it, John. Mike laughed. Ladies and gentlemen, a first-timer. Mike Pitkoff. 191, 158, 194, 543. Congrats, Mike. Lighten it up. The mush struck again. Yes, he was thinking about those answers all day and did not concentrate. Joe, come on in, Joe.
We gotta wrap this up, folks, because Lord knows some of us, me especially, need some practice. So we're gonna say thanks again to John. Thanks again to Mike. Next week, thank you guys. Next week we have the leaders of the Valentine's No Tap tournament with a record-setting 1,800 they shot. That's 900 and 900. Carolyn Bono and Jason Kitty Katz. It was just on a couple of weeks ago. We'll see you next week. Good luck and good bowling. God bless.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.